Welcome to GCP Bytes episode number 32 for Friday, the 19th of December 2025, and the final for this year. GCP Bytes is a GCP Bytes is a podcast where we discuss Google Cloud and tech, and I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. On today's show, I haven't written the introduction, so I'm going to have to sit down and write one now.
I was sitting there looking at it and going, maybe he's just going to make it up on the fly.
Seamless. Seamless. Straight in there. Yeah.
Oh, you've given me a stitch.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love it.
Welcome to GCP Bytes, episode number 32 for Friday, the 19th of December, 2025. GCP Bytes is a podcast where we discuss Google Cloud and tech, and I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. And on today's show, this is the last one for the year. Woo-hoo! IBM buys what now? We take a look back at 2025 for Google. Sydney is set to get a new AI data center boost. And what is an AI browser? Find out in the AI Wars. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to introduce the co-host of the show, Dave Wall. How are you, Dave?
I am doing marvellous on this fine Wednesday
Recovering
afternoon.
from that stitch.
Oh,
and of course,
a little bit.
And of course, our very own GDE, Ian Brown. How are you, Ian?
I'm good, Banky. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Yes, I'm not quite at the level of actually being able to make an introduction that just whips through like that. I only done it nearly 100 times.
I love it. That's got to be one. That's got to be one for the outtakes.
That'll be in the outtake for sure.
Yep.
My excuse is I've had my head buried in exam notes and study notes and everything because I am sitting a Google Developer Pro research on Friday.
Nice.
And I've worked through all the material I can in Skills Boost or Google Skills. I was going to do the practice paper earlier, but time got away on me, and I realised it was 1:30, and it probably took me more than half an hour to do that. So when I get off this call, I'll give the practice paper a run.
Yeah, do all the cloud stack driver and cloud debugger and
profiler and all these things.
Do they still call it stack driver in the actual exam?
No.
Oh. I mean, they'll be calling it, well, that name lasted about as long as previously Twitter.
Yeah.
In brackets previously. We know X was previously Twitter. You don't need to keep writing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
I hear that you've also got anti-gravity work.
I got anti-gravity going now.
He's hovering there right now.
Anti-gravity, that's cool. When I first got it, I signed in one using my Mantle account, as you would, because we get a little bit of credit on the old AI there, and it doesn't work. It just won't do any. Just says no. Can't find it. Can't find the API. Anyway, there's a known problem using enterprise accounts. And I connected using my personal account and bang, worked straight away. But of course, you've got a limit on how many you can look up, and then there's cost and blah, 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 blah. So I kept it to a minimum, but I did manage to get it to just vibe code a Mandelbrot set animation, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Using SDL. So SDL is a binding for like your graphics and sound. You can write games and stuff with SDL library in Python. And I showed you guys the animation. It does it. It makes this little animation of a zoomed in Mandelbrot set. So you could, very easy. Worked great.
Progressively brings your PC to its knees as it gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to heat up the room or chew all your battery, that's the way to do it.
Yep.
What about you guys? What have you been up to during the fortnight?
I'm all my time is factory setup stuff. It's just the amount of trips back and forth to shelving companies and Bunnings and yeah. Hopefully, we'll be put to bed by January.
Yeah, nice. Geez, that's a lot of work moving a factory.
Yeah.
I finished up at for the year at least on the 12th on my contract job, and so I'm on a little bit of time off. Enforced leave, I think they call that.
Oh, right.
And have subsequently been working on a mate's farm and, doing a whole heap of stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, it was...
mending fences?
Yeah, well, not mending fences, putting up a roof over a bad aviary. So the mate's wife rehomes fruit bats that have got injured and that.
Mm-hmm.
They got this big aviary, and there's a big area outside that she uses to chop up the fruit and all that sort of stuff that they get given every night. So we're just putting a roof over that so she didn't have to do it in the sun because it's warm down there.
Oh, yeah.
It was 41 on Monday.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And out in the sun all day in 41-degree heat, I died. But, it is what it is.
Moderately cooked.
Yeah, I was pretty out of it by the time I got home. I'd finished off. I've got a 1-gallon water bottle, which is like, can't remember whether it's 3.7 or 3.9 litres. It's a lot of water in one water bottle, and I finished that off nearly twice.
Yeah, right, smashing it.
Yep.
Well, I'm just looking here on our show run sheet. We've got a series of rants. we should have a rant segment, but
we should.
Before we get into the rants, let's just quickly talk about this Substack article here. One of you put in was 21 lessons from 14 years of Google. Interesting read. What are we saying about this?
So I actually read this, I put this one in because I met Adi Osmani on a Google Meet, one of the meet chats that we have as GDEs at some point along the line. And I remember him quite well. He's quite a character, but he makes some really, really good observations here based on his time. I mean, he spent about 14 years at Google, based on his time at Google and being an engineer within Google. So there's heaps and heaps of them, but lots of them go against what you think normally. Like, okay, the first point on the article is the best engineers are obsessed with solving user problems. So normally you think about it and go, right, software engineers are there to figure out a software bug or a software problem and code it and all that sort of stuff. But the best engineers that he's met actually work backwards. They try and really deeply understand the user's issue and then code back from that.
Well, I would say that's forwards. I would say that's the way it should be.
That's right, but that's not the way that you're taught how to do it in a university. You're taught to go, this is a specification for the code that we're writing, and that's what we're going to write.
Yeah, well, I guess a lot of the notes though that are in this list, and it's a good list, and his learnings to me read more like, hey, this is not sorry. It reads not something that, oh, well, this is a very googly way of doing things. It's not that. It is more just the notes of someone who is now just mature in their workplace and knowing how in a large organization, well, really any organization, how you genuinely get work done that is of value and not just I have a hammer, so everything's a hammer-shaped problem and this is the best hammer to buy and this is where you can put the hammers.
So, like that engineering meme video that we've all seen where the shaped blocks and you've got to put them in the right shaped holes.
Oh, yeah.
And they all fit through the square hole.
Yeah, the case in the square hole. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a whole heap of ones in here. Another one that I really like is being right is cheap, but getting to write together is the actual work or is the real work. So actually bringing people along for that journey and having the entire team come together on the same solution is actually more important than just being right about a problem. There was another one in here, and unfortunately, the highlighting application that I'm using inside of my browser has decided that 8 is the number that I'm allowed to highlight.
I mean, there was one that I really liked, which is number 6 here, which is your code doesn't advocate for you, people do. And it says, like, summarizing, but it's like, I believed great work would speak for itself. I was wrong. Code sits silently in a repository. Your manager mentions you in a meeting, or they don't. A peer recommends you for a project or somebody else. In large organizations, decisions get made in meetings you're not invited to, using summaries you didn't write, by people who have 5 minutes and 12 priorities. If no one can articulate your impact when you're not in the room, your impact is effectively optional.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. There's another one that sort of builds on that, and the one that I spoke about before was right down the bottom of the list, number 21. There's no shortcuts, but there is compounding. So expertise comes from deliberate practice, pushing yourself slightly beyond your current skill, reflecting, repeating, etc., for years. There's no short version of this. In order to become really, really good at something, you've just got to keep doing it, and you get to keep pushing yourself. And that's probably fairly it's a fairly pertinent point for a lot of people these days that think that they can get out of uni and go straight into a $100,000 job earning the top dollar. It doesn't happen like that.
Doesn't work like that, no.
No.
I also like number 16. Admitting what you don't know creates more safety than pretending that you do.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, just say you don't know it. Someone else might, or that gives you the space to go and find out, right?
That's a big thing with juniors.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Both juniors and toxic seniors.
Yeah. They want to pretend they know everything and just creates more harm than good. Yep.
I went on a leadership course once that said, don't ever admit that you don't know something in a meeting. And I was like, that seems stupid.
That is stupid.
Because if I don't know it, then why would I pretend I do?
Yeah.
Because I don't. It's like, yeah, I can drive a car. I've never driven one before, but I can definitely drive one.
That is dangerous, right?
Exactly.
Then you're asked to drive it, and what happens? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think, there's different ways to reframe it. There's, I don't know how to do that, and I'm shutting down the conversation because I'm saying that I will refuse to learn, versus I don't know how to, I haven't done that explicitly before. I've got a pretty rough idea of how it would go together. Give me a little bit of time to look into it, and I'll get back to you. Right? That's the commitment to grow to yourself and to your stakeholder.
The two work together. Yeah.
My old one when I was running an IT team was if someone asked me something that I didn't know, the first thing I would say to them was, I don't know. Once we finish this meeting, let's find out together and send an email around to the rest of the team explaining how this works and how we can use it. That was it. And it's sort of, that person and I got together and we figured out what we didn't know. And then we made sure that the rest of the team was involved in that. So, yeah, look, it's a fantastic list. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll link it in the show notes. You've got to go and read it. It's far too much for us to dive into here. 21 lessons from 14 years at Google. Go check it out. A little bit of holiday reading. Now, I'm on with the rants. I'm going to include the Samsung triple zero in with the rants list because let's just talk about that first. I mean, we remember when the 3G network got turned off.
6 months ago?
Yeah, we covered it on the show.
No, try early 2024.
It was okay, so almost 12 months ago. So we said there were going to be repercussions, and sure enough, there are repercussions. We've got something like 98,000 handsets with 000 call issues still active.
This one's a difficult one because it's relying on the carrier to update the carrier firmware on the phone, right? But so Samsung and Optus have got their carrier firmwares that they put on their phones, whether it's a Pixel or a SMASNUG device or an iPhone or whatever. You get a specific firmware that allows you to access their 000 services and all that sort of stuff. So there's a whole heap. So originally there was 1.6 million devices that have been successfully updated to this new firmware. 98,000 haven't. So this relies on the carrier to update the firmware and the user to push the yes, update the firmware.
Yeah, so that's where I was going to come in, right? It could very well be that the carrier has pushed it and it is sitting there with, hey, your phone needs updates. And I mean, I have forcibly updated my parents' phones before because of the same thing, oh no, I've got it the way I like it and I don't want it to change.
Yeah.
If I update it, it's going to change. They don't ever see a value in it.
Yeah.
So they refuse.
Yeah. And they don't have any.
So-
they don't have any problems right now until they try to call 000 and bingo. Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, TPG Telecom's chief executive, I can't pronounce the dude's name, so I'm not going to try and butcher it, was at the 000 committee hearing the other day, and his opening statement to the committee hearing was that there is yet another possible fatality involving emergency calling and another Samsung handset known to have the problem.
Mm.
So an interesting stat that I found in this article is that of the 98,000 unpatched devices, 60,000 are on Telstra's network. Now, we know Telstra pushes out updates to those devices constantly.
Mm-hmm.
28,000 are on Optus's. I'm assuming Optus does exactly the same thing. I don't know, I haven't been on their network for more than a decade. And 10,000 are on TPG.
Mm.
So I'm going to guess that they're all pushing out the updates, and this is a end user not clicking the button that they should.
Yeah, it did say on like the list of all of the various devices that are impacted that I think it was they had 11 that are impacted and can't be updated, so they've just cut them from the network completely.
Yep.
So
They're
at
the
least that
ones-
user is going to be surfaced like shit. Now my phone doesn't work at all.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
have to go to the shop.
Yeah, they're the ones that don't support the voice over LTE at all for 000
Yeah.
dialing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
they'd probably be like grey imports, things like that. They're the ones that
Could
would
be.
that do the fallback to 3G.
Or possibly some of the earlier devices too.
Yeah,
It could be
possibly
some of the
other ones,
earlier
yeah.
devices that support 4G but don't really support 4G.
So, yeah, I mean, update your phones. If you've got the Samsung one, update it. You don't want to run into this problem, especially.
Yeah, because the issue for what Samsung was saying is that if you're in Telstra and Optus coverage areas, you can make 000 calls with these impacted handsets. The only ones is the TPG ones that used to use Vodafone's network because that network is gone. And that's it's only that particular combination. So if you were a Telstra customer with one of these handsets, but you happen to drive into an area that didn't have Telstra or Optus coverage, you could not fall back onto Vodafone.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like insurance. You don't need it until you do.
Yeah, that's right.
And by then it's too late.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll cover a story a bit later where we can go to satellites now, but that's a different thing. Let's move on to the social media ban. Talking about controversial government actions.
Stupidity. Oh, sorry.
Stupidity. We didn't talk much about it last episode, but yeah, it's fully in effect now. Seeing it happen, it wasn't like a switch that went on and just cut everyone off overnight. It was a slow rollout. It took my daughter's YouTube is really the only thing she was affected on. It took her about 2 days before her YouTube account disappeared. I don't know. What did you guys see?
I saw it. So I had to sit down with Maddie on, it must have been yesterday afternoon. And he said to me, yeah, no, it all happened. And it took me like 30 seconds to get around it. And now I'm around it, so I don't care. I'm like, righto.
So on my side, I've got... So my kids are going to be years away from second. They're long time away, right? And it is certainly frustrating because now they have their own Android devices, like they have their own Android tablets that are signed in with their supervised accounts.
Yes.
So that's in my family link.
Yes,
Right? Because
absolutely.
they're under 13, they can be supervised.
That's the way to do it.
Which means I have control of, screen time, what apps can be used, school apps can be used at any point in time, but certain things. And we had for YouTube, you can have like 50 minutes a day.
Yep.
Right? Because most of the time they were using
And
it
channels as
just-
well, you can control. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can do things like for YouTube, you could say, do not autoplay. Right, I do not want them being pushed down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Right? I want them to have to explicitly choose the next videos.
The
And you
brain,
had all that control.
That's right.
Now it's gone completely. Now, on their devices, they can't fire up YouTube at all. I actually thought it would still work but be in the logged out state. but it is not the case on their
Okay.
Android devices because it's still the device knows is a child's account.
Okay, interesting. Okay, my daughter's well, she's 14. She'll turn 15 in January. This dovetails into my rant as well. She can still start YouTube on her phone, and when she goes onto a browser, she can look at YouTube, but it's got the sign-in icon on the top right. She can't sign in. Even though the browser profile's signed in as her, YouTube's not signed in. I was wondering how they're going to separate the two. They've come up with some way to do that, separate the two. But this is just a complete shit show because I've now actually got less control over it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I can't control the channels. I
It
can't
assumes she's an adult.
I can't watch her activities. Google can still fingerprint her. They can fingerprint the browser. They know exactly who she is and what her preferences are, and they can still algorithmically feed her, send her down a rabbit hole, right, via that fingerprint, right? Whether you have an account or not, they can still do that, right? Now, what should have happened in YouTube's case is to remove the comments. That's where the risk is. Right, having
and being able to post videos, right? I can,
having a channel,
you do the same thing of like,
same
okay,
thing, yeah.
you can't put videos of yourself online. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Not interacting with other people, also fine.
Interacting, yeah, remove that.
Yeah.
But the fact that the account is gone now, those parental controls are removed, and we've actually taken a step backwards.
Yep.
Stupidity.
So all Matty did with his to get around YouTube was sign out, and he uses YouTube in a guest browser on his iPad now. So he doesn't use the app anymore on his iPad.
Right.
He fires up Safari. He goes to YouTube. It's not signed in as anything. He just goes, I want to watch this creator because he knows all the creators that he likes. He just goes to their channel and fires up their videos.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the same thing, right? We've now lost the visibility.
I can't see
YouTube
anything
music,
that he's watching.
Yeah.
And YouTube Music is gone for my kids now as well.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
so
YouTube Music is gone.
Yep. Because it's the same thing. I bet Google Play Music would have still worked, but
I'm glad I didn't switch
Long
from
live
Spotify
Google
to
Play
YouTube Music then. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. It would have been ropeable if that happened.
Yeah. Well, I've got an email from Google saying, hey, your family account, now that this change has happened, you might want to consider changing to a there's a double user account instead of a family one. So even Google's recommending that. Now, where I come back is I think we're only a couple of days into this. This is shit at the moment.
Yeah.
Give it a bit of time for things to adjust.
I have an email, and I've never done this before in my life. And I literally have an email half penned to send to my local member telling her.
Send your son. Isn't your son your local member?
Well, he knows her. Yes, my son is a member of the Labor Party, so I'm going to get him to complain as well. But I've never done anything like that before, and I'll tell our member my background and like my understanding of the situation is at the moment, and that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You got to complain about it, right?
Exactly right.
And this is the only one that really I have an issue with is how the YouTube side of things has been done. Don't have a problem with them not being on Facebook. The kids' messenger still works.
Facebook, TikTok, Insta, they're all toxic. X, it's all toxic, right?
Yeah.
YouTube's a problem. It should never have been executed or included the way it has been.
But do you know what the biggest issue I see here is that now they've kicked kids off all of the mainstream social media networks. What's to stop them going onto the dark web social media networks? There's a myriad of them that they didn't have any enticement to get into now. But now the government can't shut them down. Yeah,
it's just like designer drugs. You ban one and then they make another designer drug. That one's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something. Everyone's moved over to Lemon 8, which is owned by DanceByte, and that's not included in the ban, right?
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but the government's steadfast. Like there's been a few challenges against it, and they're just not budging. They're saying, no, he's going to keep including them. That's what it sounds like. He's going to keep building a list up, keep including them.
The Australian implementation is one of, if not the first attempt at doing this worldwide. So, one way or the other, this is sort of the pattern that we're heading down. I am, as I said, as a parent, I am completely on board with having parts of social media away from kids and also people over 60. But I think there's definitely teething problems and it needs to be worked through. But I know other countries and like the EU is looking at this because they know how bad this is, especially for like young kids where their fucking serotonin's getting fried.
Oh, the dopamine's getting absolutely. I am not suggesting that this is not a good idea. Absolutely, something needs to be done because it should be done for adults too, right? The dopamine zombies that are walking around. I just read a book called Dopamine Nation. Actually, if you want a really good read on this, it's a drug. It's an addiction. Everyone is just turning into these, doom scrolling zombies that are just distracted by it, and you've got to catch yourself that you're not doing it as well, right?
I did actually do that the other night. I was laying in bed and I was like, I couldn't sleep, and I was like, right, I'm going to fire up YouTube and I'm just going to watch a video.
Nah, bad idea.
And then I ended up watching shorts, and it's just like the shorts just automatically go on to the next one.
Yep.
And half past I went to bed at like 9:30, and half past midnight I'm still there, and I'm like eyes falling out of my head.
Yeah. I'm even catching myself now watching long content stuff on YouTube. When it might be a Veritasium video or something. It's like, it's an interesting subject. Might learn something here. You get through the first 30 seconds of it, and you're already thinking, "No, I want to move on to the next one." It's like, no, I can't.
You have to keep watching it.
It's
lots of people are not watching movies anymore because they require too much concentration.
The attention span's not there.
We've been gradually shortening the length of our attention span for years.
Yep.
And now we've got all these really short videos of 5-10 seconds long, and it's hard to go back to a half-hour video.
Yeah.
Think about how hard it is to go back to an hour and a half video.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a conversation for another time. How the tech is ruining our minds, but we might leave that rant there because we could go on for a while about it. I'm sure we're going to talk about it more. But there's another rant. Oh boy, is it the end of the consumer PC building market? RAM prices are through the roof. What's going on?
Insane.
My
Four
son
times,
came to
5
me,
times increase.
Yep.
Maddie came to me the other day and he was like, "Dad, we need to go and buy some RAM."
No.
And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Haven't you seen the price of RAM?" And I was like, "No." And I just sort of quickly looked it up, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" And he was like, "Yeah, because by the time I need a car, you'll be able to swap the RAM for a car."
Maddie's investing in RAM futures. 7,000 wafers for immediate delivery.
I did see an
for the
article
low price of $6 million.
There was an article too saying that laptop vendors they're probably going to be defaulting back to 8 gig RAM laptops. That's because it's just too expensive to have anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We saw a little while ago, NVIDIA they would only ship just the chips, the main chips, to their board partners for graphics cards. They were no longer sending the memory. It's like, go source it yourself if you can find it.
Yeah.
You got OpenAI buying like 40% of the world's like when you're talking about RAM futures, literally buying like 40% of the RAM futures. You got Crucial being wound up.
Video I just sent out to you guys. Jace 2 Cents. He ran into it. That's right. So Micron that make Crucial, they've pulled the pin. And they're only now selling enterprise. Micron's just selling enterprise RAM, and that's basically to feed the AI machine.
And I'm just having a look here on Umart. Kingston 32 gig, so two 16 gig DIMMs.
Mm-hmm.
They're just the RGB, standard RGB things, very similar to what we put in Maddie's computer maybe 2 years ago now, that I think cost us around about $200 for the 32 gig.
Probably similar to what I got in mine, yeah.
Is now $700.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
paid $640 for two 16 gig DIMMs on Sunday.
Oh.
Right. I had to upgrade my partner's machine. I had to do the rolling upgrades. So upgraded her machine, and then her machine would upgrade my son's machine. Because he had one that couldn't be upgraded to Windows 11. It really needed patching.
Yeah.
So
by the way, we'll get back to that in a sec, but there's a way. Okay, yeah, go.
I had got it done, but it had issues.
Okay.
Yeah. I got new new CPU, new motherboard, and a cooler. And that was half of the cost. And the other half of the cost was the RAM.
Yep.
Now,
Right, so
look, I might be wrong here, but I don't think it's going to just be RAM. Like SSDs and
all
NVMe's,
hard drive capacity, even
that's-
spinners.
yeah, it's all going to be affected. Like it's all going to be gobbled up by AI, right?
Yeah,
Really? Spinning Rust is also
even
up?
Spinning Rust is also up.
Oh, wow.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah, I'm just
just because they
looking
use
at
it
it
for
now.
different things. So yeah, all capacity, either random access memory or long-term storage. It is absolutely through the roof.
Yeah. And when does NVIDIA make the call and say, "Oh, consumer video cards aren't worthwhile for us manufacturing anymore"?
They're cut down chips. So
Yeah.
for them, it doesn't
Right.
matter as much. Maybe
Yeah.
they don't offer you a 5090 or a 6090, whatever the next one will be.
Yeah.
Maybe that doesn't get offered, or if it does, it's at the same as a training board.
Mm.
But they can sell chips that don't make it through. You're like, okay,
right, lower quality.
OpenAI
ones.
is not
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
buy a cut down,
Yeah.
a 6060 chip.
Right. So they're making them on the same fab, but
Yeah.
they're cut down or disabled
Oh,
or whatever. Yeah.
I can't get over how expensive those video cards are either. Like I'm just having a look. I'm just browsing the Umart site just because I was like, I need to have a look at this. A 5090, like an Asus ROG 5090,
The 90s
30
are always going to be massive. Yeah.
32 gig card.
Yeah.
$5,700.
Yeah.
57. I
That's
was going to say
crazy.
4. I was going to say 4K.
What's a 50?
Well, so-
what's a 5070?
so-
That's probably more where you're looking.
Well, hang on. The gigabyte variant, so the 5090 master is $5,000. So that's another 32 gig card. The 5090 gaming OC 32 gig card is $4,700.
Bargain.
Yeah. Give me 10 of them. All right, 5070 Ti or straight 5070?
Okay,
Go
yeah.
to TI, man. Go to
5070
Go-
Ti is 1340.
Go
I'm
yourself.
seeing that.
Yeah,
Gigabyte
so,
ones.
I mean,
So I paid $1,200 for mine. So that's gone up a little.
I can't get over how expensive they are. I mean, I haven't used a proper GPU in years because I don't really
The
game.
last time I bought graphics cards was during, when Ethereum mining was still a thing, because I was doing a bit of that. I upgraded
They
my
were
gaming
up then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but they've never come back down
No.
because immediately after Ethereum no longer was viable, you had about 3 months after that where people were offloading the graphics cards,
Yeah.
and then the AI
Took off. Yeah.
stuff kicked off, and it's gone stratospheric since then.
Yeah.
Well, even so, I just like $1,200, Banky. You said you paid for your 5070?
And that was a good price. Yeah.
Yeah, a damn good price. So I'm looking at an MSI 5070 Ti 16 gig gaming Trio OC graphics card. There's a lot of words in there. That's $1,600. There's still a lot of money for once upon a time that used to be an entire computer
That's right.
with
That's
with
right.
graphics with the
But, I
old
mean, we
3D
are-
S3 Verge.
We're in this super weird period of time where technology technology has always gotten cheaper over time. Like if you think of consoles, right? Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo are all putting their prices up as consoles get older.
Mm.
So you're in this weird situation where the cheapest time to buy the console is the day it comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
That's not normal.
It's no, because usually you pay a premium and then 2 years later they have a bit of a refresh because the bill of material starts to come down. Maybe they get a bit smaller. They never get faster, but they get a bit smaller. Maybe the power consumption goes down. You save a bit of money and then a couple more years go by. It gets cheaper again and then the next generation comes out. Now it's same generation, cost.
Goes up and up and up and up and up. Yeah. Plus you're paying an arm and a leg for the actual games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and because the manufacturers of those gaming consoles are getting rid of physical discs that you can pick up
so
second hand and all
There's
that
no
sort of stuff.
second-hand
because-
market on those anymore. No.
No, so EB Games is really, I mean, they're fantastic in the way that they stock pre-owned games, but that's pointless if you don't have a drive to play them in. So
The weird thing is, it's not less so with Xbox and PlayStation, but Nintendo cartridges, like from the Switch and the Switch 2, they just don't go down in price.
No.
It is really weird. So you'll go, oh, yeah, I want to play this game that came out 6 years ago. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's $80. What?
Yeah. So, well, I'm looking on the EB Game site at the moment. So Super Smash Bros., the Ultimate, pre-owned, so this is a second-hand game, is $68. I think it was only $90 brand new.
I've given up on consoles for this exact reason. I use Steam now, Steam exclusively. I will get one of the Steam machines when it comes out. I've built a little on our second TV in our other little rumpus room. I built a little machine that just runs Steam, and it's got 2060 on it. For this reason, I just bought Tekken 7. It's an older game, but I got it with all the DLC. Right, it runs beautifully on that little old machine. It was like $30 with all the download, all the DLCs. Great, I can play a bit of Tekken now. Right, and that game will stay in my library forever. Right, and it will work on successive PCs that I build in the future.
The only other one that I would come back is that I have had over the years enormous value out of Xbox Game Pass. And even though with them putting the price up, I've definitely had my money's worth of it, especially because it is like I can use it, my kids can use it, like across the whole family. The amount of brand new games that I have played on it has made it. I don't know if I'm necessarily in front over the years, but I feel like I've had.
But you can use it on PC, right? Xbox Game Pass.
Yes, correct.
Exactly.
So
So
I use it on the console,
same idea,
and on
right?
the PCs. So I'm okay with that one.
Yeah. Well. Look, what is going to happen? I mean, look, I don't think it's going to happen, but what is going to happen if you just can't get parts to build PCs anymore? I mean, that's just a sad day. It was just so expensive. It just pushes everyone out of it. Like, being able to tune and build and, build your own PC, I think it's really important for tech industry and tech people as engineers be able to do that, and helps you really understand what's going on with the computer, and you can tailor what's going on. But if it's too expensive, oh boy, everyone's going to have to go out and buy iMacs or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, the RAM in those has never been cheap.
No.
So that's
all
only going to go
ECC RAM, and anyway, so
I mean, I think the bubble's going to pop, and I feel like it's maybe not that far off now. It may still keep going for another 3 years, right? Maybe not too far off. It's still going to be ages away. Yeah. But it does look like the hardware manufacturers are trying to be fairly conservative about adding capacity. So your Micron feels safe enough to shutter the Crucial brand and go, okay, well, we're just going to sell everything at a premium to AI data centers, because it's a lot safer for them to do that. Because you could resurrect that. If the AI bubble popped tomorrow and then all the supply comes back, you could bring Crucial back in 12 months' time, 2 years. People will go, oh, I remember that. Yeah, they still have the brand cache. But going and saying, all right, we're going to go and stand up a whole bunch of new fabs. We're going to commit to all this capital. And then the bubble pops and you go, oh, shit, actually, now we have to lay a bunch of people off. So I think the hardware manufacturers are just hedging their bets.
Hedging their bets at the moment. Yeah, right. Trying to just wait it out for a little bit. All right. Well, I hear end of the rants / end rant. We don't have any community news today.
Well, let's rant about that. Slack GDEs.
I think everyone's winding down for the end of the year. So let's get on with the news items. And first news item this week is our favourite Broadcom VMware. And what we got? Nutanix takes another swipe at VM with Sovereign Cloud Push. What's this all about, Dave?
So this is an interesting one. This is again Nutanix moving more and more into the kind of areas that were historically just VMware, right? So VMware, you have forever pretty much been able to run it in an air-gapped situation if you want. You can you don't have to put anything in the cloud. You can have your own vCenter on-prem. You could download the binaries separately. You could sideload them in. So if you wanted to have a sovereign cloud that didn't have any external access, you definitely do that. Dark sites, if you will, you could do that. For Nutanix, if you were going to have multiple controllers, you have multiple sites, and you want to be able to manage them with a SPOG, the only way to do that was using their hosted cloud. What was it called?
Nutanix Central?
Yes. Yeah. So that was their SaaS, and that was how you could manage all of your sites. And obviously, you had to have connectivity, you had to open ports, but they are making the move so that everything is going to be able to be run in your environment without any connectivity back out to the Nutanix mothership.
Yep. Yeah, so they've got, in AWS, they've got GC2 service, which is their government cloud clusters, which will run the Nutanix software. And at the same time, we've got NC2 Cloud Cluster Service now available in Google, which, as according to the article here, presumably should herald GC2 on Google in time. And in Europe, NC2 is available on OVH Cloud. So all of that stuff that they're bringing into the cloud will now be available on-prem.
Yeah, and this includes their Data Lens ransomware detection software. So that's, again, also a SaaS thing, but no, you'll be able to run it completely on-prem. Bloody ideal.
They've even got an S3 compatible storage for snapshots. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. And you can just have that in your sovereign environment, right?
Yep.
And they've also got a couple of nice LLM like dashboards and things that they're bringing in there now. So if you're hosting your own AI, you can start, demonstrating like kind of cost per query and things like that back to your stakeholders. But I think it's good. It's good. I know Nutanix isn't cheap, but it's great to have an alternative to VMware, and them coming into more and more of the areas where it's like, we could only use VMware for this because we don't want to plug things to the cloud. Like, don't have to.
Yeah, someone's got to take it to them, right? It has to be committed to take it to them, and they're the guys. All right. Well, moving on then with a bit of industry news, we've got IBM. Like doing stuff, like not like losing money. They're actually spending money.
They just buy things. That's all they do.
That's it.
Yeah.
Big Blue to buy Confluent in US $11 billion deal. IBM will buy data infrastructure company Confluent in a deal valued at $11 billion, 16.6 Oz, ramping up its cloud computing offering to capitalize on an AI-driven demand boom.
Yeah, so they're offering a price of, in US dollary dues, $31 per share, which is a premium of around 34% on Confluence's last close on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And they've said here, so that there's a couple of different firms that are working with the two companies to figure all of this out, but Michael Ashley Schulman, who's the chief investing officer at Running Point Capital, has been quoted as saying IBM is buying the critical data firehose that supports the AI hype, which is a lovely phrase full of lots of catchphrases, a lovely sentence full of catchphrases.
And of course, they bought HashiCorp, which was $6.4 billion last year, and they own Red Hat as well.
Now, I've got a bone to pick with them too about buying HashiCorp.
Building up a little portfolio here, aren't they?
Oh, there's a bit of a rant here in the HashiCorp purchase. So I got an email the other day that said that I now have to pay to have the provider that I've written that's open source and can be used by anyone hosted on Terraform's registry.
What?
Yeah, I have to pay for it. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying for it. No,
how does that encourage open sourceness?
It doesn't.
It just doesn't. No.
That's what IBM does.
Right. So, is there an alternative for you? You can use Tofu.
There is. So, OpenTofu has its own registry, so I can host it there, but then that removes it from the ability to use Terraform registry. So if you're using Terraform proper, it doesn't natively go and look at that registry. You've got
right. Can you bring? You could rehost that internally for clients that were using it, though, right?
Oh yeah, you can definitely. There's
Can
no
you have-
reason why.
Can you have a
Someone can't
custom
build it.
path to a provider in Terraform? Because he kind
well-
of just finds it normally.
Yeah. You can just define the source,
Right.
and I could, if I wanted to, just say no, it's not available on Terraform registry anymore because these idiots wanted me to pay for it for an open source tool. So get stuffed. Here's the URL to download your specific version, and here's how you use it in your provided definition.
Yeah. The old wget.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even. So you can actually put in. So GitHub is how I build it all, and it has releases there, so you can just point at specific releases.
Ah, of course. Yeah, right. And it's stored there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, IBM stuffing things up again. Let's look. They're gonna. I dare say they're probably sniffing around for some more acquisitions in 2026 to build their portfolio a little bit more. It certainly looks that way.
Yep.
All right. Well, speaking of outages, I've got to have some sort of segue. Cloudflare. We had that little oopsie the other week. They've come
Poor
out-
Cloudflare.
Yeah.
More poor Cloudflare. They've come out. Cloudflare investigates outage that brought down sites including Zoom and LinkedIn.
This one was a change to how its firewall handles requests, and it caused it to basically reject everything.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
I mean, that is handling them, right?
Yeah.
In the bin.
I mean, yeah. Deny is definitely
Secure.
an action on a firewall.
It's one way to approach security. Yep.
Yeah, deny everything. Yeah, no, that's so. This one here, it's quoted as saying, "Cloudflare said the issue has been resolved and was not due to an attack. A change to how its firewall handles requests caused Cloudflare's network to be unavailable for several minutes."
Let me, it stopped people posting on LinkedIn their, what the Cloudflare outage taught me about B2B sales.
Yeah,
We're letting it out. End of the year, let it all out. Look, we've had a couple of little rants and a couple of things that have been a bit crappy there, but Telstra, a satellite messaging service now available to enterprise customers. This is cool. I like this. Initially launching in June for the Samsung S25, we covered it on the show. The service enables users to send SMS via Starlink's direct-to-cell network to standard Australian international numbers when its mobile network is unavailable and the device is outdoors with direct line of sight to the sky. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's fantastic. Hey, speaking of satellite, did we all see? So Project Kuiper, Amazon's
equivalent.
new satellite internet service.
Mm-hmm.
Did we all see that that's now renamed Amazon Leo, and NBN have selected it as the replacement for Sky Muster beginning mid next year?
I'd heard that it had selected as replacement. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They must have given them a heck of a deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because obviously they're going to want Keystone customers, right? And yeah, awesome.
yeah. So So it was between Starlink and Amazon, and Amazon won it.
Right. Decided they didn't like melon husk, I suppose.
Fair enough.
I mean, what's not to like? No, Dave,
so-
you can't start.
So
I don't want to open that rant.
no. Cut it down there. Stop. So this is only available to enterprise customers at this point. We don't have consumers, regular consumers. Is that
No,
the case?
I've got satellite on my phone already.
Okay, so it's working on your phone.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Right.
I got it on my phone.
All right. Look, speaking of 2025 and things that have happened and rants, etc., we've got a list. The 10 biggest Google Cloud news stories of 2025. It's rather comprehensive, so we're not going to go down and delve into every item on here, but we'll talk quickly about each one. And in reverse order, this is from CRN. In reverse order, number 10, Google Cloud's $61 billion run rate. In other words, the share price and the return just keeps going up and up.
Yep. We've been outpacing AWS and Microsoft for ages now. And I'm looking forward to doing it again next year for every quarter.
Absolutely. Number 9, Google Cloud layoffs light in 2025 compared to AWS and Microsoft. So this is probably primarily the US, but they've only Amazon laid off 14,000, Microsoft laid off 9,000.
Google just a few hundred.
Just a few hundred for Google. I'm just trying to see the figure here, but yeah, just a few hundred for Google. So nice.
Yeah.
Number 8, Google Cloud doubles down on OpenAI and Anthropic.
Well, in actual fact, it's actually the opposite way around because they've doubled down on Google buying all their TPUs and compute.
Exactly. Yeah, they've written it a bit funny, but that's the point of it, right? So OpenAI and Anthropic have come knocking on the door of Google saying, "Hey, we want to use your hardware." Microsoft don't cut it. Don't cut it. And I think I shared a story we haven't got in the show with. Microsoft is now winding back their development and expenditure on Copilot because nobody uses it.
Who would have thought that Microsoft Copilot is crap? I would never have picked that.
But that's interesting though because Office 365 needs the AI integration because Google's workspace, the AI integration is just mental. It's crazy.
Maybe
they have to compete
Copilot,
there, right?
Maybe Copilot is backed by Apple Intelligence.
Well, no, it's ChatGPT.
It is basically Anthropic, yeah.
Which is what Apple Intelligence is backed by. Not for long.
So that's just strange to me. They have to be in the game, and they're kind of not. Number 7, Google Gemini innovation roars. Gemini 3 launches. Well, we know all about that. We talked about that. In fact, I put a little link here, and I'll stick it in. I went and checked out LM Arena. I was going to save this for the AI Awards, but if you go and check out LM Arena and you look at the scoreboards, basically Gemini 3 is on the top of everything.
Yep.
The only one where it's not, actually this has changed since the other day. We've got Claude for web dev.
It's close though. Look at the score.
That's very close.
Yeah, look, overall, Gemini 3 Pro is on the top of the leaderboard. It scores second and third in a few categories, but generally it is the best overall AI tool in the world.
Yep. It's top ranking there in all of them and number one in quite a few. So it's my go-to, there's no doubt.
But the Gemini app has surpassed, just reading this and I hadn't seen it, Gemini app has now surpassed 650 million users per month, which is more than 70% of Google Cloud customers using Gemini along with 13 million developers.
Who build solutions. Yeah, okay.
Huge.
Jeez, yeah, okay. All right, moving on to number 6. Google Cloud Marketplace expands. Quote I took out of this, the Marketplace now gives customers access to specialized AI agents and agent tools with Gemini-powered natural language and search to discover partner-built agents. So once again, AI making inroads everywhere.
Yep.
And it does go on to talk about partners like CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, and Menlo Security. All available in the marketplace now. Number 5, Google pours tens of billions into new data center. More billions are better.
I heard Blake say this was.
Every fortnight. It sounds like we've got a story about Google's building data centers or putting subsea cables in, et cetera, et cetera.
$15 billion investment in India to build a new AI-powered data center there.
Mm-hmm.
$9 billion in South Carolina, $4 billion in Arkansas, $7 billion in Cloud and AI infrastructure in Iowa, $9 billion in data centers in Oklahoma, and another $9 billion in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And then some more in the UK and Belgium.
Yep. So there's no doubt they're spending some money there, investments there. Number 4, key executive hires and departures of 2025. I think we've covered most of these. Mm-hmm. Francis Dissua, Jerry Dishler, Microsoft executive Hayat Galot, Google Cloud cybersecurity business leader, and Vice President Sunil Potti, and the list goes on and on and on. So, certainly getting some talent.
Yep.
And number 3, talking about Gemini Enterprise, Google's biggest AI launch 2025, Gemini Enterprise, agentic AI platform aiming to transform the AI industry.
Yep, and you can connect it to pretty much everything. Workspace, Microsoft 365, and replace that dodgy Copilot thing. Microsoft SharePoint, you name it, Salesforce, SAP, it all integrates.
Mm. And then number 2, and this is still ongoing, Google's upcoming $32 billion Wiz acquisition. That's a lot of billions.
Yeah. I don't know that that's a really big story yet because it hasn't actually happened. It's still very much in the talking stages.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's been green lighted by the relevant anti-competition agencies. So,
And expected to close first half of 2026.
Yep. And then number 1.
And the number
what is it,
one
Baggy?
thing is Google Cloud turns R&D and innovation engine towards agentic AI with partners leading the way. Woohoo! Partners like Mantle Group. It's all about partners, right? Google Cloud CEO left no doubt that his company would shift its AI strategy and innovation towards AI agents and agentic AI in 2025. And,
Which they did.
Yep.
Very much so. And it's very much a partner-heavy ecosystem where you want stuff done that's really cutting edge, you talk to partners.
Yep. Well, that's our list of what's happened in 2025. Now, Google have also done one other thing, and of course, another thing has landed on the killed by Google list just before we get onto the AI wars, and that's the dark web report. No longer gone.
Yeah. As of January 15th, 2026, new scans are gone, dead, never to be seen again. And from February 16th, the dark web report will no longer be available at all.
Did anyone use this? You guys have used this?
Yep. I used it. I got a couple of pings from it to say that my data was on the dark web. One of the things that I did, I sent feedback to Google about this, was it's all well and good that you're telling me that my data's on the dark web, but you're not telling me where it is on the dark web. And
what do I do about it?
How might I get rid of it? So, and that seems like it's actually reflected in why they discontinue it. So it says feedback showed that it didn't provide helpful next steps, which it didn't. It was just providing general information.
So it's kind of pointless.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, once your data's on the dark web, what can you do, really? You can't really do anything. It's just there.
I'll send an email to dark web.
Yeah.
I'll write a complaint.
Lapsus, remove my data now.
Dark at web.onion.
It doesn't work like that, I'm afraid.
Nope, it does not.
All right. Well, with that news of 2025 out of the way, let's get on with the AI Wars. AI Wars. AI Wars. For the last time this year, we have the AI Wars, and first one off the first horse out of the gate this year for this week. Next DC to build AI campus and GPU supercluster in Sydney. Now, this is not far from me. We'll build an AI campus GPU supercluster in Western Sydney.
You'll be heading over. You'll be put in there, mate.
I could be put in there. I could go over there. And the company said it will host a supercluster at its S7 facility in Sydney's Eastern Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 550 megawatt capacity with initial phase scheduled to be delivered in the second half of 27. And it's all for OpenAI for Australia.
S7. So S7
won't have any Google TPUs in it, though.
No, it's all for OpenAI. That's right. Yeah. So they've acquired. So I'm just looking at the Next DC site now. They have an article on there. So DC announces Next DC announces massive expansion plans with acquisition of S Centre data center site in Sydney.
Yep.
So they've acquired a new data center site S7, which is expected to do 550 megawatts. Out there, so that's there's plenty of space out there. It's pretty regional. It's out where the racetrack is out there, near the airport in that area. A lot of development happening in that part of Sydney. Look, I think it's great. The only thing is the regular concerns that we have around power and water. As long as it's not pushing the power prices are going up, as long as it's not going to push it up anymore, then it's good. We should be doing this.
Need a few more coal-fired power plants, mate.
A few more.
Throw a couple more Ginas on the pile.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
the purchase of the site was approximately 353 million Oz. Subject to satisfactory conditions in the agreement, NextDC will progressively settle on the S7 land parcels across FY25. So they're going to start building very soon by the sound of it.
Yeah, nice. And bet you they're not paying $5,500 for a GPU, though.
No.
Just saying.
Speaking of, I don't think we've got a segue for this one, but what do we feel about AI browsers? Have you guys seen how this works, AI browsers? So
yeah,
we'll talk about Disco first before we get on to what Gartner recommends. But Disco's Google's going to be, will be as touted as Google's new AI browser. Now, what's cool about it is it dynamically builds the page for you. So it's a bit hard to get your head around. I'll put the link in the show, and you can go and have a look, watch the video. But let's say you're planning a trip, you do some searches. You want to have, like, you know how you might read someone's blog that says, "Oh, we did Route 66 and we saw all these things along the way." Well, it builds kind of that for you in real time based on the things you want to see, or you've prompted the LLM to say, "Oh, I want to do free activities, include that in there," and it could build up this itinerary dynamically for you.
So it's kind of like, so you know when you use Gemini and you could switch on the canvas and then you can use that to build apps for you. It's kind of that, but taken to the next step, right? We're sort of like
a tab in your browser. Yeah.
Yeah. Building me an app in a tab.
Yeah. Like a whole web page based on whatever your subject is. Yeah. In a tab. Crazy. And then you could probably pin it, put it in a group, do a split screen, do everything you can do with a tab. But it's this custom thing that you built. Pretty cool idea.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if once you've got it and you go, hey, yeah, this looks pretty good. So taking your example there, say you were going to go on holiday and I want to do the same thing that this person has done, but add on these things, and maybe I want to buy the tickets ahead, and you've got all your little features in there. It'd be nice then if you could share it to people.
Or publish it to Google Sites and then just show them the link.
Yeah.
Right? Why not? Google has a thing called Google Sites, right, where you can make websites.
This is outrageous. What's this, a web company allowing you to make websites?
Yes.
But think of your average user, though. Like if I can share it like I can share a photo, like in a chat, like I can just go, click the share dots and send it to here, and it can give them like a unique link to it, then that'd be pretty slick.
Well, we've already got that. Google Doc or Slides or Sheets, right? That already exists. All it is now is a web page that you've made. They just integrate it with that. Bang, share it out. Nice, very, very nice. Now, but Gartner, being the killjoys they are, saying block all AI browsers for the foreseeable future. We don't like it. Agentic browsers are too risky for most organizations to use, according to an analysis firm Gartner.
Oh, Gartner, don't you know you're going to pop the bubble on us? Got a real nice bubble going on there.
Yep.
So they've actually put a definition of what an AI browser is. It includes an AI sidebar that offers users the chance to summarize, search, translate. An agentic translation capability that allows the browser to autonomously navigate, interact, and complete tasks on the website. They sound like cool features to me, right? But Gartner's saying no, too risky.
Their main thing here is that you're very often sending sensitive data to the AI's backend in order to do stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you've got the sidebar there, like it kind of has access to the data all the time. So if you're doing banking or anything, like it's there in you. It'd be acting, with user privileges.
Yeah, there needs to be a sort of sandboxing feature in it, right?
So for an enterprise, they're sort of recommending that you don't let users install these tools, purely because it has access to, let's say, internal procurement tools or internal banking tools or internal processes that you don't want to be included on the web at some point in the future.
Or ingested into the model.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's I sort of agree with that to an extent. From a business perspective, that's just sensible. But from an end user perspective, like, come on, get with the times.
End users, yeah. Well, if you're using like Enterprise Gemini, then you get your own private little instance, so that should be okay, right?
Yeah,
okay, but not the public models. No, use the public models. That's a problem.
Yeah, I suppose if you had Chrome Enterprise and you were using Gemini Enterprise, and it's all just tied into the back end, or if we my brain just spaced the AI browser we just talked about.
Disco,
yeah.
So Disco Enterprise.
Yeah.
You keep all your data in there, and it sits in a little sandbox.
They'll find a way.
You don't want it going into the public model because it's just full of slop anyway.
Or the DeepSeek one.
DeepSeek. Yeah, that won't be a problem.
No, Chinese have never done anything wrong with people's data before.
Anyway, very interesting space. I'm actually, I'm keen to see where this is going to go because, it's kind of something I thought might be cool. Like, why isn't making websites? Why isn't it easier? Why do you need to learn this CSS garbage? Right? And I won't rant about CSS again.
No, that's complete bullshit, mate.
Get the AI to do it.
Maybe not this
year. We rant about CSS for a
while. All right. And look, just to finish off then, just these are quick ones. Nano Banana. Now, I used a bit of Nano Banana and I created some AI renders of my new renovations that are happening here, sent them through to the builder and said, look, this is what I wanted to look like. And he was gobsmacked. He said, how did you do this? How did you do this? And then a couple of days later, he came back to me and said, oh, I've got a client that wants a render. How did you do it?
So because normally what you'd do is download SketchUp and you'd sketch it all out and you'd color it and all that sort of stuff.
Forever.
And it takes hours, if not, like I used to work in an architecture studio. There was guys that just dedicated to SketchUp for weeks and weeks on end doing renders.
Yep.
But you don't have to do that anymore. Take a photo of it and say, I want this here and this here and this here, and off we go.
So Gemini Nano Banana 2 Flash is set to launch. Now, what's this going to give us over our current Nano Banana?
Well, it's just cheaper to run.
Yeah, cheaper to run. So, it's a smaller model.
The Flash model.
If it's something that you're integrating with, say, Vertex AI, you need to do a lot of it. You want to have the Flash models.
I do like the internal names that they gave it. So Nano Banana 2 was internally referenced as or referred to as Ketchup, while recent code references to Mayo point to the introduction of the Flash variant.
Is Ultra going to be like mustard or?
I don't know.
Hot English? Ranch?
Tomato sauce.
The Sriracha model. That's the spicy one.
Sriracha. Yeah. All right, well, that's cool. I'll be able to do some more home renovation renders with that. Nice. All right, well, look, that brings us to the end of the show and the end of the year, in fact. And we're going to be back sometimes towards the end of January. Just make sure you've got your RSS feeds updated and you're subscribed and all that stuff, and you'll get the ping when the next show drops. But look, guys, it's been a fantastic show. I've really enjoyed the year and everything that we've done. Boy, we've covered some ground over the last 12 months and just looking at that list. But don't forget, you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. You go to Apple Podcasts, write a review to really help the show out. Go to YouTube, start discussion there. While you're there, smash that like button. And you can contact the show, contact@gcbbytes.com.au. Find us on the web, www.gcbbytes.com.au. And don't forget, today's sponsors are Hivetech Solutions, Technofish Consulting, and Mantle Group. All right, well, anything else from you guys?
No, it's been a great year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. See you all next year.
Yes, indeed. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to all. And we'll see you in 2026.
See you then. Bye.
Bye. the ads on LinkedIn are getting stupid.
I think the articles on LinkedIn are already stupid.
Oh yeah, but the advertising on LinkedIn, like I must get like 3 or 4 emails a day from LinkedIn, and not emails in my mailbox, but actually messages inside of LinkedIn that are just emails from random companies wanting to sell me crap.
Yeah. Excuse me, would
Like
you like to sign up to our white paper?
Yeah. If I wanted to buy your crap, I would have approached you already.
Hey, while we're ranting, right?
Mm.
Speaking of, if you're like an SEO developer or an AI lead gen company and you email me unprompted, I am going into Google and I am marking you as spam.
Yep, 100%.
Here we go. The glove is off. The gauntlet is thrown.
I would never do that. I would never reach out like that to my client, to prospective clients.
No, never. No. I do. I've been doing that for years. If you email me out of the blue trying to sell me something, you're immediately reported as spam and blocked.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. There's no second chances there.
No,
Anyway,
you're right.
slash rant.
Yep.
Slash rant.
Is that the final rant for the year though?
There'll be more.
I'm ready
We'll let it out.
Open brackets rant again.